A slant board is an awesome piece of equipment, especially if you're someone that trains from home. If you have one or you're thinking about getting one, I'm going to take you through my top 3 exercises that I love to do on it and the one thing to avoid whenever picking one up. We're going to go through beginner and advanced versions for your squat mobility, your calf, ankle and back flexibility, and your ankle stability. So let's get flong and sexible. First thing we're going to do is work on our squat mobility. So we want to set up so that we can have a slight heel elevation, and we want to make sure that it is nice and sturdy before we get on it so it doesn't make any movements whenever we jump on and freak us out. So from here, we stand ourselves on, feet straight forwards, and now we can just work on sitting ourselves down nice and low into a resting squat. From here, it is super comfy to just hang out. So even if you have really tight hips and you struggle to squat, this is a great way to get time in that bottom position without feeling like you're gonna fall backwards. So I can wiggle myself around here, come up and shake the legs off for a second. Don't spend too long down there at first. It takes a while to get used to sitting in the bottom of a squat. So once you're feeling nice and comfortable, you can also do reps as well. So you wanna get used to getting as low as you can to really open up the knees and the quads and everything. And then you can also start to do reps like this. Going nice and slow is really good for you, and then from there we can also even add in tempos and pauses as well. So as you go down, pause at different points and make sure you're loading the muscles and not just pushing all your weight through your joints. So it's the muscles that you're using. You're going down nice and slow, see where you can pause. Hovering around halfway is awful to do, which means it's really good for you. And then as well, get yourself all the way down to the bottom, but still try and feel strong in the bottom, like you're pulling yourself down into the position. Whenever you can do like 10 reps like that, you can then start to do sets of. So you could do 5 sets of 10, build that up. Once that's super easy for you, you can then start to load them up. So you can grab yourself a dumbbell and you can do goblet squats, which are absolutely awesome as well. So holding the weight in front, you do the exact same thing, but now we just use a little bit of weight, and this helps us to load everything and make ourselves even stronger again. So you want squats to be one of those things that you can do all day long, and it just feels good and there's no restriction whatsoever. So this is a great way to work on your overall squat and your squat mobility. Once your squats with your body weight and your squats with weight feel really good, you can then start to make things even harder again by taking one leg away and working on the pistol squat. This is really good to work on single leg balance and stability as well. And you can just start by working on that bottom position. So make sure you can rest comfortably and then slowly take a leg in front. So don't step it away straight away. Slowly take it so that your heel's still on the ground, and then see, can you just lift it off and hold that bottom position. So start with the bottom position. That's the hardest place to work on. From there, you can do reps of just working on the bottom position and getting used to being there. Once that starts to feel good and your hips start to feel even more loosey-goosey, you can then start to work on just the negative portion. I'm trying to keep JP on his toes here, going up and down. So from here, I can go with the foot out and then nice and slowly try to lower myself down into that bottom pistol position. And then from there, I just put the foot down and I reset. I stand myself back up, and then I can work on the other leg down nice and slowly and just hit that bottom position, step out of it, and then bring myself back up. So you want to build that up that you could do like sets of 3 before you would even try and bring yourself back up. So just work on the negative position and bring yourself down like that. Once you've got the hang of that, you can go for a downy and an uppy and see how that goes for you. So nice and slow again. Don't rush these. You want to keep the weight through all of the foot and then see, can you press yourself back up again like that. Pistols are a lovely movement to work on. With the heel elevation, it's much easier to get into the bottom positions where you're generally going to be the weakest. Taking away the demands of the ankle flexibility in your squat means you won't need to lean forward as much, which puts less pressure on the spine. So it's much safer if you're someone like me that has disc injuries. Progressing to the pistol squat isn't essential, but if you're really having a lot of fun and you feel like your legs are getting stronger, it is a nice challenge. I much prefer to do them these days with my heels elevated. It's much safer on the knees, so it's pretty much how I only do them now. But let's get stuck into your back end. For deep calf stretches, we want to go to a higher position. Don't worry if yours isn't adjustable, we can cover that in a second. So we want to go nice and high, and we want to have something we can hold on to. So I'm going to use the rig post here, but I would normally do this like in front of a wall. You want to get yourself on, and then you get into a deep calf stretch on each side. You can march the feet like this, just to kind of warm things up. And then when it feels okay, you can then focus on one side at a time and try and bring your hip over your foot that little bit more. There is nothing else like it. Like I've tried doing this on stairs or against door frames and stuff, but on the slant board, it just has that extra bit of traction. It really hits things in that nice way. You can also work on twisting yourself while you're there, because remember, like, ankles move a lot, so you want to actually get into your stretches and move around as well. So rock side to side, twist your hips from side to side as well, and we want to do that on both sides. So hanging out here for like a minute on each side, rocking forwards and backwards, really helps to get things opened up, and this is what helps your overall squat mobility too. So once that's feeling pretty good, we can also work on something called a Jefferson curl, and this is for the whole back of you essentially. So we're gonna go down to that little bit of a lower position, and from there, we can then work on our toe touch, but with the toes being pulled up, so it makes things a lot more intense. So from here, we just walk down nice and slowly, try and touch the toes, and see, can you get that little bit further, and then bring yourself up nice and slowly like that. And then full Jefferson curl is to tuck the chin, and then round the upper back, and then slowly try and imagine you're peeling yourself off a wall, and you just bring yourself down nice and slowly like this. If that feels 100% okay, you can even load that up a little bit, so you can get a really light dumbbell. From there, we can hold that in front of ourselves and just do that exact same movement with just a tiny little bit of weight. So still tuck the chin, and imagine you're just peeling yourself slowly off a wall, and just let yourself come down. So you're in control the whole time. You're not just bouncing down into it, and you just go to where you feel that bit of a stretch, and then you bring yourself back up again, nice and slowly like that. So just a small set of 3, 5 sets of 3, absolutely plenty with that. Really good to loosen up the back, really good to loosen up the hamstrings and the calves as well. So like I was saying earlier, if you don't have an adjustable one of these boys here, if you get a weight and put it down underneath, that's able to give you that little bit of an extra angle. Again, just make sure it's sturdy before you would actually stand on it. So that way you can still work on those calf stretches. If we're using the slant board to help us to get deeper in our squat without needing the ankle flexibility, it's also important to work on the ankle flexibility separately, so we want to build our squat from both angles. If you struggle to touch your toes weirdly by elongating things and making it harder, it can actually make your standard toe touch much easier whenever you come back to it. This one may feel a bit weird, it might give you a weird sick feeling or feel a bit nervy, but stick with it and you will learn to love it eventually. And if you're loving this video and find it useful right now, it would really help us out if you hit that subscribe and like button. Next up, let's get stuck into the other thing. Your ankle stability. Let's get a bit wibbly wobbly now. So we're going into a nice deep split squat. So this helps us to get our bum almost right down to the ankle and the knee nice and far over the toes as well. So it helps us really get deep into the hips. We can push through the back leg, get a nice deep stretch in the back hip as well. And from here, we can do our reps like this. You can also load these up in that goblet position as well. Again, just go nice and slow and try and work on trying to minimize the amount of wobbling that's going on that you can. Now, the great thing about the slant board is we can also work on our ankle eversion and inversion, but just by turning it to the side. So from here, I can now put my foot on, so now it's trying to cave in this way. So this is eversion. So from here, I can still try and do those split squats. I'm trying to keep my knee in line now with the smaller toes like this, and the ankles caving inward. So a bit of a weird position to work on. If you're not used to it, go super duper slow. And from here, we again try, keep the balance, minimize the wobbles, and still try and get deep into that bottom position. So small sets of this, again, sets of 3. Are absolutely plenty. Just go nice and slow, and I wouldn't really even tend to load these ones up. This is more like a prehab exercise. So once you've done your 3 that way, you can then turn your board the complete other way, and we can work on our inversion. It's always hard to remember which one's which. Let me know in the comments if I got it right or not, actually. I usually forget. So from here, again, same thing. We're trying to keep the toe in line with the knee here. So big toe now instead of the little toes. And we're still working on trying to stay as stable as we can and get into that full deep bottom position. So quite an unusual one to work on, but so beneficial. Ankles are great until they get hurt, and then you're limping around all the time wishing that you didn't have ankles. The best way to look after them and to stop having those accidental whoopsies is to put yourself into those weird positions under your own control, so that if you do happen to roll your ankle, you might end up just having a little bit of pain for a couple of days rather than a full-on sprain. Some sprains in some cases can even be worse than a break. Ankles can take so long to heal if they do get hurt, so a bit of prehab work is always worth it, just like our Tobility and ankles workout in our program Stability Builder. So yeah, hopefully you feel more confident for some wiggles on a slant board. Let me know in the comments if you have one or you're thinking about getting one, and let us know if there's some kind of equipment that you would like our Flong and Sexible take on.